Welcome back to another video. We got another crosskart video going today. You can't see it right now because you're set up right there, and we got so much going on in here right now. I'm gonna have to get this pulled out of here, and then we'll get the crosscart moved up here and going. But I'll show you what we're working with today. Give you a little sneak peek. Got some good old Wilwood stuff in the mail. I'm gonna be working with a pedal box today. Gonna get that set up. When I bought this, it should have came with the master cylinders, but it didn't, so that kind of sucks. But they're only 76 bucks a piece, so we'll get those at some point. But I can get everything bolted up and see how I want this to go. But like I said, we're gonna have a hydraulic clutch right here, and then we got two master cylinders for brakes. So I'm gonna be able to run brakes to the front because I have two calipers up front, so I'll run that off of one of the master cylinders, and then we're gonna have one big brake kit in the back to help us out with that, so we can kind of get this mocked up and see how it's going to go. Looking at it right now, it's going to be pretty tall, and I'm going to have to keep it out of the way of the steering wheel, but kind of center it as much as possible. So we'll get that figured out, and then I don't know, hopefully everything goes well. I don't know how it's going to go, but we're for sure going to have to get a slave cylinder for the clutch. But first things first, I got to get everything out of my way and get this thing out of here, load it up into the trailer, and maybe clean up a little bit of metal. I've been going on this crosscart for a while now, and it's becoming a mess over there with all the metal shavings. But I'll get everything cleaned up, and we'll get this mocked up, and hopefully it's going to fit in there how I want it, because if not, I don't know what we're going to do. Alright, so basically, long story short, I believe this is going to have to sit somewhere right in there, which it's going to be level with the bottom of the cart. So I mean, I might have to move this steering because there's just going to be a plate that goes underneath, but with it sitting like that, that's going to be really close to the seat. So I mean, I guess let's see how crunched up we're gonna be sitting in here. If I can get in here. Still trying to figure out how to sit in here. That's what we're looking like. I don't know that that's gonna be too fun. That's gonna kind of suck. Maybe I can just offset it and split the pedals right here so it can maybe go back a little further. I don't know. We're either going to do that or change the steering. So I guess I'm going to mount these in the best place possible, and then after they're mounted I can figure out how to do the steering and where that needs to go, because I feel like it'll be easier to move steering than move the pedals. So yeah, I guess we'll figure that out now. Alright, so like I said a couple videos ago, we might end up changing the steering anyways. But right now, I think we have to move it up in front here, and it's going to be sitting a little higher so everything clears. But I think it's going to sit around the front like that, and then we can run a beam either over right here or under to get up to our steering wheel. But that way, it'll let us put our pedals further down so we're not eating our knees while we're trying to drive, and it makes things a little more comfortable. So now what I can do is I can cut out a plate, and then I think the front of the pedals are going to sit right about here, equal on both sides. So I can cut a plate out, weld it in there, and we can set the pedals on there and actually see where it's going to sit. So I got my metal piece cut out. I did not record any of it because I had such a great time doing it. Plasma cutter wouldn't work, die grinder wouldn't work, so I ended up using a Sawzall, and it took me about 2.5 hours to cut that little piece out. Ain't the prettiest thing, but it'll do what we need it to do. So I'll get it set up in here. I'm gonna level everything out, use my Klein degree gauge to set it level so that the pedals sit as best as possible, and then get those set up on there, evened out, make sure it's okay from right to left, or I might off center it to the right if anything, because that's where the gas will be and I'll be there most of the time. But yeah, hopefully the ugliness is hidden around the edges when it's welded to the sides of this. So now that that piece is welded in there, that's kind of where my pedals are going to sit. It might be a little offset one way or another here in a minute once I get it measured out. But I think there's enough room for the hydraulic master cylinders on the back. The only thing I don't know what I'm going to do is with the throttle, that's as far forward as it goes. So I might cut slits in the metal. And another thing is I don't know how I'm going to hook a throttle cable up to that. Might have to rig something up because it's... On this one, it's got two throttle cable pieces, so when it goes forward, one pulls, and when it comes back, the other one pulls. So I'm either going to figure out how to set up the doubles, or maybe the spring on that's going to be enough. But first things first, I'm going to get everything measured out, and we'll get that bolted down and see how comfortable it is sitting in there. So I've got everything mounted in there now. As you can see, for the most part, I think it's level. I measured it before, but it might have moved a little bit. And I was struggling with it moving, but I mean, if for the most part it's level, I'll be fine with it. Or even at least. Still looks good that way. This way we're sitting about 20 to the seat. This way we're sitting about 20 to the seat. So I mean, I'm fine with it the way it is. But now we get a little test fit after doing all that work. Hopefully it wasn't for nothing, because now we're gonna sit in there and see if everything is far enough away, which hopefully it is. We're gonna have a little box sitting us up a little bit higher that we can rest our feet on so they're not down as low. And then I'm going to have to cut slits in that because that throttle pedal doesn't go very far, but I think we're in an okay spot right now. I mean, it's crosskart. You're not going to get much room out of it as it is. If I wanted room, it's going to have to be a lot bigger, but I was trying to stay compact and everything, so hopefully the hydraulics fit on the back as well, those master cylinders. If not, I'm going to have to take that brace out, but kind of at a standstill until the master cylinders come in. So I'll give you a little close-up of the pedals. I'll show you what I did at the bottom. We got these, if I can get this out of here, I got flush mounted screws for the bottom of this so that if I end up hitting something, they won't take any damage or shear off. But like I said, we're at a standstill, so that's probably where the video is going to end today. It's another short one. We just don't have the stuff to work on this. It's kind of last minute. Had some stuff going on, so kind of last minute, like I said, and didn't really have anything else to do. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks we'll be able to go snowmobiling, because it is snowing up in the mountains. There's not a lot of snow now. We only have turbo sleds, so we can't really ride anything that's not deep powder. But I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment down below what you guys think of what I'm doing and everything. Subscribe as well to follow along with the series of the cross cart, and we will see you guys next Wednesday.